Hey, how are you? Hello, hello. Well, today we're going to be talking about a really rich topic I've talked about a whole lot during my last 10 years in my career, and it's boundaries. And the reason why boundaries is such a juicy topic, really, is it's because most women, kind-hearted women of service, don't tend they tend to have weak boundaries, right? There's a bunch of reasons for that. Could be some people pleasing involved and really wanting to be of service and be helpful. I know those were some of the ways that I tricked myself into thinking boundaries were not necessary. But the truth of the matter is, now that I've raised 3 children and and I've had a bunch of animals, not that I'm comparing children to animals, I'm not doing that, so please don't even go there. But the point is, all creatures will take advantage if left, to their own devices without being put in check here and there. And the job for putting people in check, or things in check, people and animals in check, the living creatures in your life in check, is to have proper boundaries. So who am I talking about? I'm talking about anybody who really loves to be of service. It could be a Reiki practitioner or a coach, a transformational coach like me, a life coach, a business coach, an empowerment coach, whomever. Any sort of healing modality tend to attract practitioners that are givers, right? And, most people are takers out there. And what does that really look like? It could really wreak havoc on the giving person if they're not really careful with their boundaries. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. We're heading into a really busy time of year where there'll be lots of socializing, lots of going out for the holidays, lots of stretching yourself too thin and running yourself ragged. And it's really important that we have these discussions ahead of time, so that they could be kind of floating around in your brain and you can keep yourself in check, because boundaries are really great. And what I've noticed working with women, really thousands of women over the last decade, is that women first start with having really great boundaries with other people, but they don't have good boundaries with themselves. So not that it's a little off topic, but sort of like a piggyback on the boundaries topic. Watch the boundaries you have around yourself during the holiday season. Don't keep saying yes when you really want to say no. Don't have conversations you don't want to have or uncomfortable having, right? That's one of the things I've dealt with the most in my own life, and as well as my clients. Just because somebody wants to have a conversation about something and you don't, doesn't mean you have to. It all comes down to good girl syndrome, and stuff like that. But boundaries are really, really important. And there are thousands and thousands, infinite amount of types of boundaries you could be having. The one we're going to be talking about specifically today in this live is boundaries around work and life. And I've got some tips for you that I hope will serve you. And if you're joining me live, I'd love to hear and just say hey and say hi. I love those hearts. So you could throw me some hearts. And also, if you're watching the replay, just make sure you kind of put replay in the comments so that I can see who's joining me live, who's joining me on replay. Sometimes things don't come up and I can't see who's joining me. And I love to know. I love to talk and kind of have this conversation with you around empowerment, around stepping into your feminine power, around really creating a lifestyle that really makes your heart sing. That's what's really important, is really living your very best life while you're here to enjoy it, right? We don't want regrets after. So let me just take a sippy. One of the things that we need to, hey, Stacy, nice to see you, honey. One of the things that we need to realize is that we can't always be working. And I will tell you that my wonderful husband is always like, he chants that to me, because left to my own devices, because I love my work so much, it doesn't feel like work. I just will work and work and work and work. I feel on purpose when I'm working. I feel productive when I'm working. I feel of service when I'm working. It's it strums all the chords, and I could just bury myself in work. There's always 10 billion things that need to be done. And I have my own online business, but it could really apply to anybody, doctors, lawyers, career women. It doesn't matter what you do for a living. It's the fact that work should be work and personal time should be personal time. So we need to have proper boundaries around ourselves with that, right? That's hard to do for a lot of us. So that's why we're talking about it. We're having this very important conversation. So let's see, I have my notes. So let me give you a scenario, something that sparked this whole entire blog post that I created, and now this training, this class. So everybody who knows me knows that I'm a coach, I'm an author, and I work in empowerment and in the personal development field. Right now I've kind of segued into business as well, online business, really helping women launch their online brand and really create a lifestyle where they can travel the world, work, and they're not location dependent. They're really just free. Time freedom, financial freedom. So everybody who knows me knows I do life coaching, I do business coaching. So when we're out at parties, inevitably throughout the last 10 years, hi, Ermi, nice to see you. I would get questions like, Lisa, can I just ask you something? Or can you just give me your advice on this real quick? It's just real quick. And, I would always graciously answer. But what I realized was there was no separation between Lisa's private life and Lisa's business life, because I was being asked questions that were business related, whether it's life coaching, business coaching, any coaching, while I was out and about trying to enjoy myself. Now, I'm not saying it's not wonderful to help, because I'm the first one who always wants to help. But when you're always working, you're not unplugging. And that for women really gets them into that push, masculine energy, which I love masculine energy. I want to make that perfectly clear. I'm not one of these, spiritual women that think the masculine is all bad. I absolutely love the fact that masculine energy lives and moves through me. I love it and I use it. But when women are constantly in their masculine energy, it can cause burnout. We need that time just to kind of unplug, relax, flow with, life and enjoy. And like I said, my husband's really good at kind of, I don't want to say he yells at me, but it's very emphatic all the time. Babe, you need to unplug. You need to unplug. And he knows me so well, because literally since the day we were born, the day we met, we've been together night and day. And he knows when the wheels are turning in my head. He knows the little things I do, like I tend to bite my lip or bite the inside of my mouth. He can literally see me thinking. So he'll catch me and be like, you're supposed to be unplugging. You're supposed to be unplugging. So I have that accountability, which is wonderful. But how many women don't have that? And that's why I want to talk about this. What are some strategies where you can be kind of being gracious, but yet putting a nice firm boundary that doesn't feel beastly to you? So that's what we're going to talk about. I want to say that soul sisters are a different story. There are so many wonderful friends that I have, peers, women that have become my soul sisters over the years. And that, it doesn't apply to that. I'm talking about when you go out to parties, when you're with family. I laughed before. I was thinking about what I was going to say, but have you ever heard the term an asshole? And it still makes me laugh, because when you're in a position like a coach, a business coach, anything, lawyer, doctor, people will be asking your advice, your opinion all the time. And sometimes those people are called assholes because they ask you, you take the time to actually answer them, and they don't follow your advice. So this is a great way to get that not happening, and then you won't feel resentful, right? And asshole. So I laughed. I saw a meme years ago and I was like, oh, that's so true. Like somebody's like, Lisa, help me out with this. And then they don't do what you advise. So you took time out of your enjoyment to answer it and actually put on your business hat. And it wasn't even for what? For nothing. They didn't take your advice anyway. So I decided years ago, no more of that, no more of that. When Lisa's out having fun, Lisa's out having fun. And what I do is I basically, if somebody says, Lisa, let me ask you about this, I'll listen to what they have to say. And my response is usually, I hear you're really struggling with that. So what I'm going to ask is that you kind of reach out to me via text or email, over the weekend. And I will definitely schedule time in my calendar to speak to you during business hours. Now, that is honoring the fact that I want to be of service and help, but it also puts a nice boundary around my personal time so that I'm not working while I'm out enjoying myself. Because usually I'm hitting the booze. If you know me, I've had a couple of cocktails and I want to just enjoy myself. I don't want to talk shop, so to speak. So, and then it also puts the responsibility on that person who's asking you for advice to actually follow up and schedule time in my calendar. And the only exemption to that really are my soul sisters, my peers that I was talking about. Now, I have a handful of women that it's never worked to talk to them, even if we're out at lunch, even if we're just kind of jumping on a call. But we always ask each other, I'm kind of struggling with this. I'm bumping up against this. Can we hop on a call when it's convenient for you? And that's how we very respectfully, with boundaries, because we're all in the same industry, and we know what it feels like to constantly be working, have my business hat on. Coaching takes a lot. Not everybody is cut out for life coaching or business coaching, one-on-one coaching, because you create this container. You hold space for your clients. Even my monthly coaching group, I hold space for like 50, 60, 70 women at the same time. That takes a lot out of me. I'm an empath. I got to hold space. I got to hold space for my clients to really be struggling and really be the grounding force for them and be able to give them strategy and tools and advice. So when I'm out at a party, that's the last thing I want to think about doing, right? So soul sisters are totally exempt to this. And I just want to say that because I love them. I depend on them and we kind of coach each other through things. But I'm talking about ladies, like when you're at work, be at work. When you are not at work, whatever that is, don't be at work. Just use my default answer, which is, you know what? Give me an email, give me a text, give me a call, and we'll schedule something, a time in my calendar to talk about this when I'm at work. It immediately stops. So many times if we don't have default answers already created, we'll just go down the rabbit hole with people, right? So preparation is key. Really setting an intention that this is going to be my response. Just like, for example, when you're being asked, can you come to this party? Can you do this? Can you do that? I never say yes in the moment anymore. I created a default answer, which gives me some time and space to think about it, really think about, do I want to do this? Do I want to go there? Is it logistically possible? So my default answer for that is, you know what, let me check my calendar and I'll get back to you. I never say yes. I mean, maybe sometimes I'll say yes if my heart is screaming like, oh my God, I gotta go. Then I'll say yes. But like most things, I gotta see, like, am I around? Do I have a beast of a week? I'm not really a night person, so I'm not going to be killing myself and doing stuff all day and then running out at night. So I have to prepare. So the best answer for me, my default answer is, let me check my calendar and get back to you. So your default answer for this could be, you know what? I see you're struggling. I really want to help, but how about we set up a time where that's mutually agreeable during business hours, and I could be all yours. All of my intention and attention can be on you. Get you right out of it. All right. So some other ways you need to have boundaries around yourself. Thanks for the hearts. Sometimes I get an angry face, but I know that's only because you're hitting that like that, and it's throwing me an angry face. I know nobody's angry at me. Who could be angry at me? No one. So we're going to talk about some other strategies about how you can absolutely have good, clear boundaries around your work time and your personal time. I just want to admit that I need to take my own advice on this a lot of times, but it's like heal or heal thyself, you know? And then I have, you know, Shannon, Mr. Scorpio there screaming at me, I'm home, stop working. So he's hard to ignore, really. If you know him, you know he's hard to ignore. Okay. So some of the ways I have boundary around myself, or I try to, let's put it that way, I'm a work in progress, is have a start time and an end time to your day. Now, to that point, I generally, because I don't care for children anymore on a day-to-day basis, I can work as much as I want. So generally, my best hours of working are early morning, first thing, till about, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock latest. I start to really get fried out at that point because I've been thinking and writing sales pages and coaching clients. It's a lot, like I said, it's a lot of energetic work, holding space. It's a lot of strategy work, using my brain. I'm just tired. I'm spent. So usually my work day, it starts and then it ends. Occasionally, I'll go a little late. Occasionally, I'll hold circle a little late, or I'll do a class late, but that's not the norm. So definitely have a start and an end time to your day. I'm taking that point even further. I'm working into my schedule. I'm taking off Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I want to do like Friday, my adulting day. One of my friends, my peers, one of my soul sisters gave me that idea. Friday is her adulting day. And I was like, that is a brilliant idea, because usually I'll have my nails done on this day whenever my nail technician is, available. And I don't want to do that. I want to really intentionally design my schedule. So with that being said, moving forward, I'm moving out of Fridays, and Friday is going to be adulting day for me. Also, it cannot be all work and all play, all work and no play, pardon me. So even if you love what you do like I do, so I'm the perfect candidate to speak about this. So we just joined the Orchid Club. If you know me, you know that I love gardening. I love plants, herbs, growing herbs, natural medicine, pretty things. So I love, now that I moved to Florida, I love growing orchids. I never got a chance to really grow them in New York. So I grow orchids down here. So we just joined the Orchid Club because not too many people know much about orchids, and I had nobody to talk to them about. So we joined the Orchid Club, and now I can talk to these people once a month about orchids. That's awesome. So if you have an interest, and if you work from home, my loves, please, it's very, very isolating. You must go and do things that interest you. You got to get out of the house. So if you enjoy hiking, join a club, like a meetup group that hikes. If you enjoy art, go to a paint night, go to an art class. If you enjoy gardening, join a gardening club. Get out of the house. It cannot always be work, work, work. Do something that really activates the creative side of your brain, because I'm always in the analytical side, but I really enjoy interior design and making things pretty and growing things. So that's my creative outlet. You must have a creative outlet, or just an outlet where you're out in nature, really connecting with Mama Earth, connecting with animals, connecting with the sky, all of it. So you definitely want to do that for yourself. It cannot be all work and no play. Go out with your friends. Totally go out with your friends. I have girlfriend lunch with one of my close friends. She's a business soul sister down here in Southwest Florida. We go out once a month. I'll see her next week for Thanksgiving. We have friends we go out with. Just get out of the house. This is especially for those who work from home like me. You got to get out. You got to get out and have some fun. Just unplug and utilize the default answer I gave you, which is I'm kind of not working right now, but I'd love to help you during my business hours. And then, of course, the most important thing, everything starts with you, with knowing who you are. I had my first child at 22 years old. I was a child having a child. I was actually 1 month into 2 months into my 22nd year when I had my daughter. And, I mean, I did the best I could, but I didn't know who I was. I was still a kid myself. So, know who you are. Know who you are inside and out. Know what makes you happy. What's a absolute no-go for you. There's deal makers and deal breakers in your life. You got to know what you enjoy doing. You have to know who you are as a person. And all of my free gifts are really designed to help you identify who are you? What do you like? What don't you like? What do you want in your day or in your lifestyle? What things need to go, and how to really step into your feminine power. So I do have a link up top to my free swag page. I have all sorts of free gifts there. You can kind of go there and see which ones call to you. And they are free to download, my gift to you, and I hope they serve you. So please let me know what you thought about this topic of boundaries, work-life balance. Let me know if you work from home and then you go out. Have you also been faced with these questions, these advice questions? I can imagine like Reiki practitioners, they'd be like, can you just send me some Reiki? And you want to, but that's energetic. So you got to be ready to do that. Or if you're a transformational coach, or if you're a doctor or a lawyer, do people ask you, can you tell me what is this spot on my arm or something? We just can't get away from our business hat, and we need to. We need that time just to be the woman that we are without that business hat on. All right. So I hope this served you. Thank you so much for those who joined me live today. I love spending time with you and sharing space. And for those of you who are on the replay, I truly appreciate you taking time out of your day to join me. So I'll be seeing you Wednesdays at 2 p.m. Eastern for Facebook Lives. We're going to be talking about creating a lifestyle you love, really tapping into your powerful feminine essence and creating from that place, right? My goal is to help you go from, wounded feminine or disempowered feminine to powerful creatrix of your life. Despite what your life looks like right now, ladies, everything is possible. Everything is possible because our co-creative partner is spirit, source, and miracles, everyday miracles happen all the time. And they are meant for you too. All right. So let me know if you like this topic, and I'll see if I can think about a few more boundary topics to talk about. Have a great week, and I'll see you soon. Bye.